And after that, when I was a teenager, and I learned how the system worked. And so as soon as I got to be 21, I ran for office. I ran for a citywide office in Philadelphia, and I lost. I came in 4th out of 22 candidates, and I won every major newspaper endorsement in the city, and you couldn't find a happier guy who had lost an election. I was like fired up. So then, when I was 23, I announced I was going to run for the state house. The only problem is the election was a year away. But I wanted to get an early start. So I announced a year ahead of time. And I started knocking on doors to see my neighbors and to let them know of this big, important decision I had made about who was going to represent them in the state capitol. And all I needed them to do was to remember to vote for me. And now I was then elected in May of 1982. You weren't even born. It's almost 30 years ago. 30 years ago next year. I was elected. I won in a landslide. I won by 58 votes out of 10,000 cast. I won by less than 1 vote per precinct. You couldn't find a happier winner. They counted this thing over 2 or 3 times. In fact, when I declared that I had won, it was still in doubt about who actually had won, right? But my campaign team said it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a very close election, 15 votes out of 10,000 cast. There was a little doubt about the numbers. There were a few precincts that were still out. And my guy, Curtis Jones, we were partners from high school. He said, look, you're going to go down in that ballroom and you're going to declare that you won. Because you need to claim this victory. And we'll keep counting the votes and we'll keep working through this, but go tell all of your supporters in the press that you've won. And I did that. Because, you know, I told you, these staff people have a lot of control, right? And he obviously was much smarter than me. And he felt that the first thing I should do is claim the victory, right? So when you say you're going to go to college, right? See, that's the first part of this deal. You have to decide that you are going to be a success. That you're not going like, you know, if you're doing this deal, that you're going to write yourself in as the winner, right? So anyway, I won that election. I went to the state house. I served for 3 terms, and I ran for the state senate. And I won 3 terms in the state house. Then I ran for the state senate. And I served there for a couple terms. I ran for Congress, and I lost. And I came in second out of a field of 4 candidates. But I was quite happy. Because I knew that the other 2 came in behind me, they were out of the deal, and I was going to get a new shot at this. So in 94, I lost in 91, in 94 I ran again. And I won by the largest margin of any other almost 100 people in the country getting elected. Because for 2 years, I did nothing but go around and talk to my neighbors about this great decision that I had made about who was going to be their congressman, right? And all I needed them to do was to vote for me in the next election. Now, the incumbent congressman did not like this idea that I was going to run against him. But I ran and I beat him, and I got into the Congress. Now, when I got to the Congress, I ran for a seat on education committee. I didn't get it. A year later, I got it. 3 years after that, I ran for a seat on the appropriations committee. All my colleagues had to vote. My wife will tell you, I lost. I was very, very disappointed. I knew that I owned the seat on the most powerful committee in the Congress, but I lost. 2 years later, what happened? I ran, I won. So now, last year, I just ran for chairperson of the appropriations committee, to be the very top, the guy who decides how to spend all the money. Or at least, you know. But I lost. I came in second out of a field of 2 candidates. So one of the things that I noticed about all of my elections is that the field of people I'm competing with is getting smaller and smaller. And the prizes that I'm running for are getting higher and higher, right? And I also noticed one other thing that's very important, you don't remember anything else I've said, right? Is I lost. That is to say that you're not going to always win at everything you try. Look, you're not going to get every grade you think you deserve. You think you deserve an A, you might get a B+, right? You're not going to get it in every college you apply to. I did not get admitted to my first choice college. I did not get admitted to my second choice college. I went to community college in Philadelphia. But now, later on in life, I served on the board of 4 colleges. Penn State University, Temple University, Lincoln University, and Community College of Philadelphia. Now, I served on the board of the 2 of the colleges who had, what? Rejected me. In fact, when I got to community college, I went back to my high school to visit the counselor who had said that I wasn't college material. To harass her, right? When I got to Penn, I went back to harass her more. And when I got just a visit at the Kennedy School at Harvard, I went back and the woman had to retire. Because I really was working on her, as my grandmother would say, working on her last nerve, right? Because I wanted her to know she should never, ever, ever decide, sight unseen, what some young person can achieve. So I'm going to leave you with this because I got to run. My kids are reading a book with me. It's called The Dream Walker. It's by a guy named Dr. Bernard Harris. He walked in space. He was on one of the shuttle missions. He's a physician, right? And he says that, you know, he actually got a chance to walk his dream, right? So I want you to walk your dream. So how many of you want to be doctors? All right, put your hands up. Astronauts, architects, lawyers, business leaders. I was over at Goldman Sachs yesterday for a meeting. $2 billion building, you go up on the top floor, and it's quite impressive. Let's see. How many of you want to be great chemistry teachers? Great scientists. Well, whatever it is that you want to do, right, you should walk your dream. Now, some of the time, in order to do that, you have to get up very early in the morning. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, right? But what you'll notice is if you get up early and you work harder, right? The people you're competing with, the field is going to get smaller and smaller. And the things you're competing for are going to get much more important. So I want to wish you success. I want to thank